When a young black billionaire generously offers his first-class seat to a homeless woman, the simple act of kindness ignites a series of emotional events that captivate everyone on board. What unfolds next is a heartwarming twist that no one could have ever anticipated, leaving passengers moved to tears. But before we dive in, leave a comment and let us know where you are watching from today. And if this story speaks to you, hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories. The sun had just begun to rise, casting a golden hue over the bustling terminals of John F. Kennedy International Airport. Flight 7B to London was preparing for departure, and the atmosphere was a mix of excitement and anxiety typical of a major international flight. Among the sea of travelers was Marcus Langston, a young black billionaire known for his tech empire and philanthropic endeavors. Despite his immense wealth, Marcus preferred to keep a low profile, avoiding the constant media attention that came with his status. Seated in the luxurious first-class section, Marcus glanced out the window, his sharp eyes scanning the runway. At 6 feet 2 inches tall, he exuded confidence and charisma, yet there was a quiet sadness in his expression that few could decipher. Clad in a tailored suit, he was the epitome of success, but today, something felt different. Across the aisle, a woman in tattered clothing shuffled down the aisle towards the economy section. Her clothes were worn and dirty, and her eyes held a mixture of desperation and hope. She clutched a worn-out handbag, her movements slow and deliberate. Passengers glanced her way, some with curiosity, others with pity, but no one paid her much attention, until Marcus did. As the woman approached her seat, a sudden commotion erupted. She had forgotten her boarding pass and was desperately trying to convince a flight attendant to let her board despite the oversight. The attendant, clearly frazzled, was struggling to maintain order as more passengers voiced their opinions. Marcus watched the scene unfold with growing concern. He could sense her distress and knew he had to act. Without a word, he stood up gracefully, his presence commanding immediate attention. He made his way down the aisle towards the struggling woman, his steps purposeful yet gentle. "Excuse me," Marcus began softly, kneeling to meet her eye level. "Is everything all right?" The woman looked up, surprise evident in her eyes. I lost my boarding pass," she stammered. "Please, I need to get on the flight." Marcus reached into his pocket and pulled out his own boarding pass. "Here," he offered, handing it to her. "Take my seat. You can use my pass. No one will know." The flight attendant approached, clearly taken aback by the gesture. "Sir, are you sure? There are protocols we need to follow." Marcus nodded firmly. "She's clearly in need. Please, let her board. It's the right thing to do." After a moment of hesitation, the flight attendant relented, allowing the woman to take Marcus's first-class seat. Murmurs spread through the cabin as passengers observed the unexpected act of kindness. Some shook their heads in disbelief, while others whispered words of admiration. As Marcus returned to his seat, he noticed the woman's gratitude shining through her tear-filled eyes. Little did he know, this simple act of generosity was about to set off a chain of events that would touch the hearts of everyone on board. With the woman now seated beside Marcus, the atmosphere in the first-class cabin began to shift. Passengers who had previously been lost in their own worlds found themselves drawn into a moment of shared humanity. The woman, introducing herself as Elena, appeared nervous but grateful. Her presence added a layer of complexity to the flight, transforming it from a routine journey into something more profound. As the plane began its taxi toward the runway, Marcus felt a strange sense of anticipation. He couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter was more significant than it seemed. Elena, noticing his contemplative gaze, offered a small smile. "Thank you again for helping me," she said softly. "I don't know what I would have done without you." Marcus shrugged modestly. "Sometimes, we all need a little help. Where are you headed?" Elena hesitated for a moment before replying, "London. I'm trying to find my brother. He disappeared a few months ago, and I believe he's involved in some dangerous work." Marcus's interest was piqued. "Do you have any leads? Maybe I can help." Elena shook her head. "Not much, just rumors and a few names. I thought this flight might be a good place to ask if anyone knows him." The flight attendants moved through the cabin, offering refreshments and snacks, but the conversation between Marcus and Elena took center stage. Passengers began to listen in, drawn by the sincerity of their interaction. What started as a simple act of kindness was now evolving into a collaborative effort to uncover a mystery. As the plane ascended, the scenery below transformed into a patchwork of cities and countryside. High above the clouds, the passengers felt a sense of camaraderie, united by the shared experience. Marcus, with his business acumen and resources, and Elena, driven by determination and hope, formed an unlikely partnership. Hours passed, and the flight continued smoothly. Elena shared details about her brother, revealing that he had been involved in whistleblowing activities related to a major corporation. Her brother, Daniel, had threatened to expose unethical practices within the company, leading to his sudden disappearance. Marcus, intrigued by the parallels to his own experiences with corporate responsibility, offered to use his connections to aid in the search. The conversation attracted the attention of several passengers, each contributing their own insights and resources. Among them was Dr. Linda Hayes, a renowned investigative journalist, and Jamal Thompson, a cybersecurity expert. Together, they formed an impromptu team, determined to uncover the truth behind Daniel's disappearance. As the hours passed, the cabin lights flickered faintly, casting a warm glow over the group. The collaborative spirit fostered an environment of trust and mutual support. Passengers shared personal stories of resilience and hope, creating a tapestry of human connection that transcended social and economic boundaries. Unbeknownst to them, a silent observer watched from the shadows. Hidden among the passengers was a figure with a vested interest in keeping the truth buried. As the plane journeyed toward its destination, the stage was set for a confrontation that would test the limits of courage and integrity. As Flight 7B continued its journey to London, the collaborative spirit among the passengers remained strong. Marcus, Elena, Dr. Hayes, and Jamal delved deeper into the mystery of Daniel's disappearance, pooling their knowledge and resources. The conversation flowed effortlessly, with each member bringing a unique perspective to the table. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to the group, a figure cloaked in a dark coat and hat observed their interactions from a distance. This mysterious passenger, known only as Mr. Blackwood, had his own reasons for monitoring the group. A high-ranking executive from the very corporation Daniel had threatened to expose, Blackwood was determined to ensure that the company's secrets remained hidden at any cost. As the hours slipped by, the team made significant progress. Dr. Hayes shared her contacts within the investigative journalism community, while Jamal offered to trace digital footprints that might lead to Daniel's whereabouts. Marcus, leveraging his business connections, reached out to former employees who might have insights into the company's internal affairs. Elena felt a renewed sense of hope. "I never thought I'd find such a supportive group on this flight," she admitted. "It's amazing how a simple act of kindness brought us all together." Marcus smiled. "Sometimes, the universe works in mysterious ways. We're all here for a reason." Outside the window, the night sky stretched endlessly, stars twinkling against the dark canvas. Inside the cabin, the group worked diligently, unaware of the impending threat posed by Blackwood. The atmosphere was a mix of determination and camaraderie, with each member driven by a personal stake in the mission. As the plane began its descent into London, the tension in the cabin heightened. The team had uncovered critical information that could potentially expose the corporation's unethical practices. However, time was running out, and Blackwood was closing in. In the final moments before landing, Blackwood made his move. Silently, he approached the group, his presence barely noticeable amid the bustling activity of the cabin. With swift precision, he produced a small device, discreetly placing it in Marcus's bag before slipping away unnoticed. Unaware of the impending danger, Marcus continued his work, oblivious to the device that now lay within his belongings. The group was on the verge of a breakthrough, but the shadow of Blackwood loomed ominously, threatening to derail their efforts. As the plane touched down, the team prepared to disembark, unaware that their journey was far from over. The real test of their resolve was about to begin, and the true power of their unity would be revealed in the face of adversity. The plane's wheels touched down smoothly on the runway, signaling the end of the long journey. Passengers began to gather their belongings, some stretching their legs after hours of confinement. Marcus, Elena, Dr. Hayes, and Jamal exchanged determined glances, knowing that their mission was just beginning. As they disembarked, the cool London air greeted them, a stark contrast to the controlled environment of the airplane. They made their way through the terminal, blending in with the crowd while discussing their next steps. The mission to find Daniel had taken on a life of its own, and the group was ready to confront the challenges ahead. However, as they exited the terminal, Marcus felt a sudden sharp pain in his side. He winced, clutching his bag instinctively. "What's wrong?" Elena asked, concern etched on her face. Before he could respond, the pain intensified, and Marcus collapsed to the ground. Panic ensued as passengers rushed to his aid, but Marcus remained unconscious, the device planted by Blackwood activating silently. Dr. Hayes quickly assessed the situation. "We need to get him to a hospital immediately," she urged, her medical training kicking in. Jamal nodded, already pulling out his phone to call for an ambulance. As the group waited for help to arrive, Elena knelt beside Marcus, holding his hand tightly. "Stay with us, Marcus," she whispered. "We're here for you." Minutes felt like hours until the paramedics arrived, swiftly transporting Marcus to the nearest medical facility. The group followed closely, their determination unwavering despite the setback. At the hospital, the doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize Marcus. The device had triggered a severe allergic reaction, one that could be fatal if not treated promptly. The group remained by his side, their bond strengthening under the strain of the crisis. Hours later, Marcus regained consciousness, his eyes fluttering open to see the concerned faces surrounding him. "What happened?" he asked weakly. "You had an allergic reaction," Dr. Hayes explained gently. "But you're going to be okay now. We think someone tampered with your belongings." A chill ran down Marcus's spine. Tampered? Who would do that? Before anyone could respond, security personnel entered the room, questioning the group about their activities on the flight. Suspicion hung heavy in the air as Blackwood's presence loomed large in their minds. As the investigation began, the group realized the gravity of their situation. Blackwood was not just a silent observer. He was actively working to sabotage their efforts. The mission to find Daniel had become a matter of life and death, and the stakes had never been higher. Determined not to let fear take hold, Marcus looked around at his newfound allies. "We can't let him stop us. Daniel needs us." Elena nodded firmly. "We're in this together. Whatever it takes, we'll find him." The hospital room became their temporary headquarters, where strategies were devised and plans were made. The unity forged on the flight now served as their greatest strength, propelling them forward in their quest for truth and justice. Days passed as Marcus recovered, the group tirelessly working to uncover the truth behind Daniel's disappearance. The hospital room became a hub of information, with each member contributing their expertise to the investigation. Dr. Hayes leveraged her journalistic connections to gather background information on the corporation. She uncovered a web of corruption and unethical practices that had far-reaching consequences. "This isn't just about Daniel," she said grimly. "It's about exposing a system that harms countless people." Jamal delved into the digital realm, tracing encrypted communications and uncovering hidden files that pointed to the corporation's illicit activities. "I found evidence of financial fraud and data manipulation," he reported. "If we leak this, it could bring them down." Elena focused on locating Daniel, using her network to track his last known movements. "I've traced him to a small town in Scotland," she announced. He was meeting with a whistleblower who promised to provide more information. Marcus, drawing on his business acumen, reached out to former employees who had left the corporation under suspicious circumstances. Their testimonies provided invaluable insights into the company's inner workings and the lengths they would go to protect their interests. As the pieces of the puzzle began to fit together, the group realized the magnitude of their mission. They were not just searching for Daniel, they were fighting against a powerful adversary determined to silence anyone who threatened to expose the truth. However, their progress was threatened by Blackwood's relentless pursuit. The executives' attempts to sabotage their efforts intensified, leading to moments of danger and uncertainty. Each step forward was met with resistance, testing the group's resilience and determination. One evening, as the group gathered to review their findings, a crucial piece of information surfaced. A confidential email revealed that Daniel had discovered a groundbreaking technology capable of revolutionizing the industry. This discovery was the catalyst for his disappearance, as the corporation sought to control or eliminate anyone who threatened to undermine their plans. "This changes everything," Marcus said, his voice filled with determination. If we can secure this technology, we can not only find Daniel but also expose the corporation's true intentions. The group nodded in agreement, their resolve strengthened by the new revelation. They knew that time was of the essence, and the stakes had never been higher. The mission had evolved into a race against time, with lives hanging in the balance. As they prepared to take their findings public, the group faced their greatest challenge yet. Blackwood, aware of their progress, launched a final attempt to thwart their efforts. A confrontation loomed, promising to test the limits of their courage and unity. Undeterred by the looming threat, the group pressed forward, united by a shared purpose and the unyielding belief in the power of truth and justice. The journey had only just begun, and the path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty. But together, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The day had come for the group to make their move. Armed with irrefutable evidence and a plan to expose the corporation's corruption, they prepared to go public with their findings. The atmosphere was tense, each member aware of the risks involved. Dr. Hayes arranged for a live broadcast, utilizing her media connections to ensure maximum visibility. "We need to get this information out to as many people as possible," she emphasized. "This is our chance to make a real impact." Jamal worked tirelessly to secure their digital communications, ensuring that the evidence couldn't be traced or intercepted by the corporation's surveillance. "I've set up encrypted channels for us to communicate safely," he assured the group. "We need to be cautious." Elena coordinated with her contacts in Scotland to locate Daniel and bring him into the fold. "He's in hiding, but he's still alive," she confirmed. "We just need to find him before it's too late." Marcus took on the role of the spokesperson, preparing to address the public and present their findings. "We have a responsibility to shed light on these injustices," he declared. "Together, we can bring about meaningful change." As the broadcast went live, the group felt a surge of hope mixed with anxiety. The truth was finally being revealed, but the threat of retaliation from the corporation lingered ominously. Blackwood was not one to back down easily, and the confrontation was inevitable. Suddenly, the room was plunged into darkness as the lights flickered and went out. Panic ensued as the group realized they had been targeted. Emergency protocols kicked in, but the damage had already been done. Blackwood's forces had infiltrated their operations, aiming to silence them permanently. In the chaos, Marcus remained calm, his leadership shining through. "Stay focused," he instructed. "We can't let them intimidate us. Our mission is too important." Elena, Dr. Hayes, and Jamal rallied together, their bond unbroken despite the unfolding crisis. They knew that their fight was far from over and that the true test of their resilience was about to begin. As the lights flickered back on, the group found themselves face to face with Blackwood. The executive's expression was one of cold determination, his presence exuding menace. "You think you can expose us without facing the consequences?" he sneered. "You're playing a dangerous game." Marcus met his gaze with unwavering resolve. "We're not backing down. The truth needs to be heard, no matter the cost." A tense standoff ensued, the air thick with anticipation. The group stood united, ready to defend their mission against the formidable adversary. It was a moment that would define their journey and test the very essence of their courage and integrity. Just as the confrontation reached its peak, an unexpected turn of events unfolded. The ground beneath them seemed to tremble, and a series of alarms began to blare throughout the building. The power surged back on, revealing the chaos outside. The corporation's security forces had surrounded the facility, cutting off all exits. Blackwood's confidence wavered as he realized the extent of the corporation's desperation. "This isn't over," he threatened before being forcibly restrained by his own security team. Amid the turmoil, a voice echoed through the room. "Enough." It was Daniel, emerging from the shadows with a resolute expression. "I've seen the harm this company has caused, and I won't let it continue." The room fell silent as everyone turned to face him. Daniel's presence was both unexpected and powerful, his eyes filled with determination and relief. "I've been working on a way to bring everything to light safely," he explained. "We can still make a difference without putting ourselves in danger." Dr. Hayes stepped forward, her respect for Daniel evident. "We're glad you're here. Together, we can finish what we started." Jamal nodded in agreement. "With your help, We can ensure that the truth reaches the right people without compromising our safety. Elena placed a reassuring hand on Marcus's shoulder. We've come so far, and now that you're back, our mission is complete. Marcus looked around the room, taking in the faces of his allies and the newfound hope that Daniel brought. Let's do this, he said firmly. For the truth, and for everyone affected by this company's actions. As the group united once more, the true twist of fate was revealed. The corporation's plans had inadvertently brought them closer together, strengthening their resolve to fight for justice. The combined efforts of Marcus, Elena, Dr. Hayes, Jamal, and Daniel created an unstoppable force, capable of overcoming any obstacle in their path. With renewed determination, they finalized their plan to expose the corporation's wrongdoing. The power of their unity and shared purpose propelled them forward, ensuring that their message would resonate far and wide. The day of the broadcast arrived, and the group stood ready to present their findings to the world. The tension in the air was palpable, but so was the sense of accomplishment. They had faced numerous challenges and emerged stronger, their bond unbreakable. As the live broadcast commenced, Marcus took center stage, his voice steady and resolute. Today, we bring you the truth about a corporation that has been exploiting and harming countless individuals for years. We have the evidence to prove their wrongdoing, and we believe it's time for accountability and change. Dr. Hayes joined him, presenting the detailed reports and testimonies they had gathered. Our mission was born out of a simple act of kindness, a desire to help someone in need. But it grew into something much bigger, a fight for justice and integrity. Elena shared her personal journey, highlighting the importance of perseverance and hope. We were brought together by circumstance, but our unity was forged by a shared purpose. Together, we can make a difference. Jamal showcased the digital evidence, demonstrating the extent of the corporation's corruption. This is irrefutable proof of their unethical practices. It's time for transparency and reform. Daniel, the catalyst for their mission, delivered a heartfelt message. I am grateful to each one of you for believing in me and standing by my side. This isn't just my fight, it's our fight for a better, more honest world. As the broadcast reached millions of viewers worldwide, the impact was immediate. Public outrage surged, and authorities were compelled to take action. The corporation faced intense scrutiny, leading to investigations, resignations, and significant policy changes. Back on the plane, now safely on the ground, the passengers watched the broadcast unfold, their hearts swelling with pride and emotion. The story of Marcus's act of kindness had transformed into a global movement for justice, inspiring countless others to stand up against corruption and inequality. As the group celebrated their victory, they shared a moment of quiet reflection. It's incredible how one small gesture can lead to such profound change, Marcus mused, his eyes glistening with tears. Elena nodded, her voice filled with gratitude. We proved that kindness and unity can overcome even the greatest of challenges. Dr. Hayes smiled warmly. This is just the beginning. There's so much more we can achieve together. Jamal raised his glass in a toast. To truth, justice, and the power of collaboration. Daniel joined in, his eyes shining with hope. And to never forgetting the importance of helping others along the way. As the sun set over London, casting a serene glow over the city, the group knew that their journey had left an indelible mark on the world. Their story was a testament to the enduring power of empathy, courage, and the unbreakable bonds formed through shared adversity. But little did they know, the ripple effects of their actions were just beginning, setting the stage for new adventures and challenges that awaited them in the future. As the broadcast concluded, the world watched in awe at the unfolding drama of truth and redemption. The immediate aftermath was a whirlwind of media coverage, social media frenzy, and public outcry against the corrupt corporation. Authorities swiftly moved to investigate the allegations, ensuring that justice would be served. Back in London, Marcus, Elena, Dr. Hayes, Jamal, and Daniel found themselves at the center of a global movement for transparency and ethical business practices. Their collaboration had ignited a spark that resonated far beyond the confines of a single flight. People from all walks of life reached out, sharing their own stories of resilience and the impact of kindness, much like the one that had brought them together. Marcus stood by a large window in his temporary London office, reflecting on the journey that had begun with a simple act of generosity. It's incredible how one decision can set off such a chain reaction, he mused, his eyes scanning the city skyline. "I never imagined that offering a seat would lead to this." Elena approached, her face lighting up with a warm smile. "Sometimes, the smallest gestures make the biggest differences. We've shown that unity and compassion can overcome even the most daunting challenges." Dr. Hayes nodded in agreement. "Our story has inspired countless others to speak out and demand accountability. It's a testament to the power of truth and the importance of standing together." Jamal, always the tech wizard, was already working on ways to leverage digital platforms to continue their mission. "We need to ensure that the information we've gathered remains accessible and secure. This is just the beginning." Daniel, now fully recovered and reinvigorated, looked around the room with determination. "We have an opportunity to create lasting change. Let's use our collective strengths to build a future where integrity and empathy guide our actions." As the team strategized their next steps, they received an unexpected visit. A young woman named Aisha approached them, her eyes filled with hope. "I've been following your story," she began. "Your courage has inspired me to take a stand in my own community. I believe that together, we can amplify this movement and make a real difference." Marcus welcomed her with open arms. "We're glad to have you on board, Aisha. Every voice matters, and your passion will help us reach even greater heights." The group realized that their initial act of kindness had not only changed their lives but also ignited a global wave of empathy and solidarity. They were no longer just individuals fighting against corruption. They had become leaders of a movement that championed honesty, compassion, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Months passed, and the impact of their efforts was undeniable. The corrupt corporation faced severe penalties, with top executives stepping down and legal actions being taken to dismantle its unethical practices. New regulations were implemented to prevent such abuses of power, ensuring that businesses operated with greater transparency and responsibility. Marcus's company, already a beacon of innovation, took on a new role as a leader in corporate ethics. He established a foundation dedicated to promoting fairness and supporting whistleblowers who dared to speak the truth. "We have a responsibility to lead by example," he stated during a press conference. "Our success should be measured not just by our profits but by the positive change we bring to the world." Elena continued her quest to find and support other missing individuals who had fallen victim to similar circumstances. Her tireless efforts led to the reunification of families torn apart by corporate greed and corruption. "Every person we help is a step closer to healing the wounds caused by injustice," she remarked, her voice filled with unwavering resolve. Dr. Hayes published a groundbreaking exposé that shed light on the intricate web of corruption within various industries. Her work earned her numerous accolades, but more importantly, it empowered ordinary people to demand accountability from those in power. "Knowledge is our most powerful weapon," she declared. "With it, we can dismantle the systems that seek to oppress us." Jamal's expertise in cybersecurity became instrumental in safeguarding the movement's digital presence. He developed secure platforms that allowed activists and whistleblowers to share information without fear of retribution. "In the digital age, information is both a tool and a shield," he explained. "We must use it wisely to protect our cause and ourselves." Daniel, now a symbol of resilience and hope, spearheaded initiatives to support innovators and ethical entrepreneurs. His first-hand experience with the consequences of unchecked power fueled his passion to create a fairer and more equitable business landscape. "Innovation thrives in environments where integrity is valued," he affirmed. "We must cultivate spaces where creativity and honesty coexist." Aisha, inspired by the collective strength of the group, launched community programs that fostered kindness and empathy among youth. Her efforts aimed to instill the values that had brought them together, ensuring that future generations would continue to prioritize compassion over indifference. "When we teach kindness, we build a foundation for a better tomorrow," she said, her eyes shining with determination. As the years went by, the legacy of Marcus's simple act of kindness endured. The ripple effects of his generosity transformed lives, communities, and industries, creating a world where empathy and justice were paramount. The once unassuming billionaire had become a catalyst for profound change, proving that one person's actions could indeed shape the course of history. On the anniversary of their fateful flight, the group gathered to celebrate their achievements and reflect on their journey. Standing together, they marveled at how far they had come and the lives they had touched along the way. Marcus raised a glass, his voice filled with emotion. "To kindness, unity, and the power we hold to make a difference. May we continue to inspire and uplift each other for generations to come. Elena echoed his sentiment, her heart full of gratitude. Our story is a testament to what we can accomplish when we choose compassion over complacency. Dr. Hayes added, "Let our legacy be one of truth and integrity, guiding others to stand up against injustice wherever it may arise." Jamal smiled, raising his own glass. "Here's to the future, bright, hopeful, and built on the foundation we've laid together." Daniel concluded with a heartfelt toast. "And to never forgetting the importance of a single act of kindness that changed everything." As they clinked glasses, the group felt a profound sense of accomplishment and unity. Their journey had begun with a simple gesture, but it had blossomed into a movement that transcended borders and barriers. They had proven that kindness, when combined with courage and determination, could move mountains and create a legacy that would inspire countless others to follow in their footsteps. Under the vibrant London sky, they stood united, knowing that their bond was unbreakable and that the world was a better place because of their unwavering commitment to empathy and justice. Their story was not just a tale of triumph over adversity but a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that even the smallest acts of kindness can leave an everlasting impact.